Hey everyone, it's your girl, Maddie here, aka Beaver Mosh, and today it's my monthly segment, my monthly metal mentions, where I go back this month for the month of May and talk about the records that I enjoyed, because I listened to a lot of metal, but I couldn't make a video about it. I'm a one-person operation. I say this every time I make this particular video. I just can't talk about everything in particular full detail. And also, I need to say that anything that I talk about on this video doesn't necessarily mean I liked it less than stuff I made a full video on. There's a lot of factors that go into why I pick what I pick to record about. With that being said, I have a lot to get to, so I'm just going to list these off in rapid fire format, so let's get on with it. We had Heimland, Forfedrenes Terror, very classic sounding black metal out of Norway, and then Nightmare, Deformity Adrift. This is some dissonant death metal, hailing kind of a split out of the US and Germany. Dead Chasm, Sublimis Ignatum Omni, some cavernous death metal out of Italy. We had Shodan, None Shall Prevail, some dense, progressive-leaning death metal out of Poland. Intöxicated, Sadistic Nightmares, just some blazingly fun speed metal out of Germany. And then we had a split between Kaatayra and Pessismita, two atmospheric black metal acts out of Brazil. Serpent Moon from Aridus, his fierce black metal debut out of New Mexico. Blood Ceremony, The Old Ways Remain, some intoxicating occultic doom metal / stoner rock out of Toronto. Golden Arm from Fresno's Haunt, just some ultra sleek, super fun heavy metal. And then we had this self-titled demo from Goetia, just some very ripping, primal, ultra aggressive death metal out of DC. When Death Comes Again from Aphonic Thronody, a UK-based funeral doom project. Then we had Woven Into Ashes from Oregon's Vintersea, a very compelling, extreme progressive metal record. Haunting of Sablewood from Austria's Carathis. I really enjoy this project. I talked about the last release that they did, just this black metal project with this medieval charm to it. Then New York's avant-garde black metalers Krallice put Porous Resonance Abyss here, taking much more of a synth-laden approach, and it's great. Out of San Diego, Ascended Dead released Evenfall of the Apocalypse, a dense death metal record that seems to reveal more and more of itself to me as I give it more listens. And then we had Legacy from Est Deus, a epic, rousing, blasphemous black metal release. I really love this one. Impetuous Ritual, Iniquitous Barbaric Synthesis, the latest from this Queensland-based, dark, noisy, suffocating death metal act. And then Obsession Destruction from Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean, a crushing sludge doom metal project out of Massachusetts. Wilczyca Wicked, some seething black metal out of Poland. Out of the UK, Battleborn put out Blood, Fire, Magic, Steel, just some over-the-top Elder Scrolls based power metal that isn't trying to take itself too seriously, and that cover art rules. Esoctrilihum, Astral Constellations of the Magical Zodiac. Another one from the insanely prolific experimental black metal artist out of France. And this one is over 2 hours long. I went into this kind of with low expectations, if I'm being completely honest. I thought, wow, there's no way this is not going to be or come across as overstuffed or just lacking any cohesion. And my assumptions were very wrong. I think this is 2 hours of music that justifies its length. It feels very pieced together and thought out and planned, and goddamn. Soulless, the supreme resurgence. Very powerful, big sounding atmospheric black metal out of Norway. And then Profeci, Ubaswo, just some grim, fiery Polish black metal. Vomitheist, Necro Funeral, just some disgusting, no nonsense, old school sounding death metal out of Switzerland. Kostnatění, Upa. I did an interview very recently with DL of this Minneapolis-based black metal project. You can go watch that. And this is a very compelling project that is quite dissonant and plays with a lot of non-Western sound for something a very interesting listen. I really dig this. Nexorum, Tongue of Thorn, just some forceful Norwegian blackened death metal. Then Out for Blood from the Chile-based Shadows, just some dark, gothy heavy metal with a lot of sweet hooks as well. Okay, if you're into death metal, like even a little bit, and I have a feeling that you might if you're watching this video, then I'm just gonna kind of assume that at this point you know who Frozen Soul is. I liked it. Blindfolded and Led to the Woods, Rejecting Obliteration. Some hard-hitting, somewhat techie death metal out of New Zealand. TogarE, the exquisite pain, bleak, barren, depressive black metal out of London. Out of San Francisco, Botanist gave us 8 Selenotrope, this acclaimed, very nature-inspired post-black metal project with another good one. To Be Cruel from Khanate. And whoa, was this a surprise. Came out of nowhere, no promotion ahead of time. First album in over a decade from this drone doom project. It also featured Stephen O'Malley. Towers of Gold from Sacred Outcry. Big, epic, progressive power metal out of Greece. We had Holocene from Germany's The Ocean. Some sprawling, progressive metal from a band that has proven to be pretty good at doing that sort of thing. Demonic Incarnate, Abyssal Sermons of Desolation, this suffocating death doom project out of Germany. Dhishti, Life is Suffering, sinister, somewhat melodic Sri Lankan black metal. Yakuza Sutra from Chicago, this avant-garde metal project. A lot of influences thrown in, some jazzy stuff, there's a lot of that. It's just a really cool listen. Eternal Despair from this band. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know. Not gonna try. But it's just some raw, haunting, atmospheric black metal out of Switzerland, coming from Braz, a musician that has a lot of really good projects kind of like this. Out of Poland, Morbinok put out The Galactic Gloom, this spacey, cosmic, symphonic black metal album. And Oreda, The Eternal, is very interesting, very Icelandic sounding, instrumental, atmospheric post-black metal release. Mornu, The Unearthly Becomes Inherent, this Russian dissonant post-black death metal project. Exactly, some really eerie stuff. Then out of Australia, The Exuviae of God Part 2 from Mournful Congregation, a really important and big name now in modern contemporary funeral doom, and they come through here. Sacred and Profane from Oriad, some symphonic gothic metal out of Denver. Cave Ghoul, Until the Light May Take Me, this raw, atmospheric black metal project out of Fort Wayne, Indiana that blends some heavy elements of dungeon synth as well. Olkoth, At the Eye of Chaos, just some gruesome blackened death metal out of South Carolina. Immortal, war against all Norwegian black metal legends with their latest. It's fun, it's frosty, it's good. Anfat det Asterboniska Morkret, this occultic, well-composed black metal project out of Finland. Usnia, Bathed in Light, out of Portland, Oregon. This suffocating, crushing, blackened funeral doom project. Titan in Oculus Abyss, out of the Netherlands. This one's wild. It's a chaotic, abstract, noisy, experimental black metal project. Lots of adjectives to try to describe this, with even some tinges of maybe some industrial as well, with some deeply philosophical, lyrical topics as well. Also out of the Netherlands, Phlebotomized put out Clouds of Confusion, some experimental, progressive death doom metal. Speed Whore, Visions of a Parallel World, just this nasty blackened thrash metal album out of Germany. Then the self-titled from Finland's Kalma, another one from this established melodic death metal band. Serpent's Call from Violent Sin, just some ripping speed metal out of Belgium. Then Vomitory, All Heads Are Gonna Roll, out of Sweden. Death metal. It's just death metal. It looks like the cover. Out of France, Liquid Flesh put out Dolores, a complete stomper of a death metal record. Deliciously gruesome stuff. Then Sarvakis from Finland put out Woven Dark Paths, just some mad, grim black metal. And lastly, we had Dance You Monster to My Soft Song from Portland, Oregon's Victory Over the Sun. Just some really great, really cool, avant-garde black metal that incorporates a lot of other elements in a very creative way. Just feels like this sonic journey. I very much enjoyed this one. And hey, that concludes my list. Hopefully you find something here that piques your interest, maybe something new that you may have missed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy what I do, consider hitting that like button. It'd mean the world to me if you consider subscribing. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. Leave a comment. I really love engaging with those. Definitely tell me if you checked out anything on this list. And hey, you, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh, and I'm signing off.